Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read 2 Samuel 5 to 11, Proverbs 25, and Psalm 2. Let's get started. Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, Behold, we are your bone of flesh. In times past, when Saul was king over us, it was you who led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord said to you, You shall be shepherd of my people, Israel, and you shall be prince over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. At Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months, and at Jerusalem he reigned over all Judah and Judah 33 years. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, who said to David, You will not come in here, but the blind and the lame will ward you off, thinking, David cannot come in here. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is the city of David. And David said on that day, Whoever would strike the Jebusites, let him get up the wall shaft to attack the lame and the blind, who were hated by David's soul. Therefore it is said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house. And David lived in the stronghold and called it the city of David. And David built the city all around from the Millar inward. And David became greater and greater, for the Lord the God of hosts was with him. And Hiram king of Tyre sent messengers to David, and said, Choose carpenters and masons who built David a house. And David knew that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. And David took more concubines and wives from Jerusalem after he came from Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to David. And these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shemuah, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elisha, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet. And the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel. All the Philistines went up to search for David, but that David heard of it and went down to the stronghold. Now the Philistines had come and spread out in the valley of Rephaim, and David inquired of the Lord, Shall I go up against the Philistines? Will you give them into my hand? And the Lord said to David, Go out, for I will certainly give the Philistines into your hand. And David came to Baal Perazim, and David defeated them there. And he said, The Lord has broken through my enemies before me like a breaking flood. Therefore the name of that place is called Baal Perazim. And the Philistines left their idols there, and David and his men carried them away. And the Philistines came up yet again, and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. And then David inquired of the Lord, and he said, You shall not go around to the rear, and come against them opposite the balsam trees. And when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, and rouse yourself, for then the Lord is gone out before you to strike down the armies of the Philistines. And David did as the Lord commanded him, and struck down the Philistines from Geba to Gaza. David again gathered all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000, and David arose with all the people who were with him from Baal, Judah, to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, who sits enthroned on the cherubim. And they carried the ark of God on a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which is on the hill. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, were driving the new car with the ark of God, and Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel were celebrating before the Lord with songs and lyres and harps and tambourines and castanets and cymbals. And when they came to the threshing floor of Naked, Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God struck him down there because of his error, and he died there again beside the ark of God. And David was angry because the Lord had broken out against Uzzah. And that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day. And he said, How can the ark of the Lord come to me? No, David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord into the city of David. And David took his side to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And also King David, The Lord has blessed the household of Obed-Edom and all that belongs to him, because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to Seir David with rejoicing. And when those who bore the ark of the Lord had gone 6 steps, he sacrificed an ox and a fattened animal. So David danced before the Lord while he was mighty. And David was wearing a linen ephod. And David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord, was shouting with the sound of the horn. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out the window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord. And she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in its place These are the 10 that David pitched for, and David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And when David finished offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. And he distributed among all the people, the whole multitude of Israel, both men and women, a cake and bread, a portion of meat and a cake of raisins to each one. And all the people departed each to his house. And David returned to bless his household, but Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, Now the king of Israel honored himself today, uncovering himself today before the eyes of his servants, as one of the vulgar fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. And David said to Michal, It was before the Lord who chose me above your father, and above all, and above all his house, to appoint me as prince over Israel, that he was the Lord, and I will salvate before the Lord. I'll make myself yet more contemptible than this, and I'll be abased in your eye, that by the female servants of whom you have spoken, and I that man shall be held in your honour, and Michal the daughter of Saul had no child to do with death. And when the king lived in the house, and the Lord again him rest from all surrounding enemies, the king said to Nathan the prophet, See, now I dwell in the house of Sarah, that the ark of God dwells in the tent. And Nathan said to the king, Go, do all that is in your heart, the Lord is with you. At that same night the word of the Lord came to Nathan, Now tell my servant David, Thus says the Lord, Would you build me a house to dwell? I have not lived in a house since the day I brought the people of Israel from Egypt to this day. I have been moving around in the town for my time. The place where I have moved with all the people of Israel, to speak a word with any of the judges of Israel, whom I commanded to shepherd my people of Israel, saying, Why have you not built me a house of Sarah? And therefore thus you shall say to my servant David, Thus says the Lord of hosts, I took you from pasture, from following the sheep, that you should be prince over my people Israel. And I have been with you wherever you went, and have cut off all your enemies from before you. And I will make for you a great name, like the name of the great ones of the earth, and will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, so that they may dwell in their own place, and be disturbed no more. And violent men shall afflict them no more as formerly. And in the time that I appointed judges over my people Israel, and I'll give you rest from all your enemies. Moreover, the Lord declares to you that the Lord will make you a house. When your days are fulfilled, and you lie down with your fathers, and I'll raise up your offspring after you. He shall come from your body, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house on you, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. And I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. When he commits iniquity, I will discipline him with the rod of men, with the stripes of the sons of men. But my steadfast love will not depart from him, as I took it from Saul, and he might put it away from before you. And your house and your kingdom shall be made sure forever before me. Your throne shall be established forever. In accordance with all his words, in accordance with all this vision, Nathan spake to David, when King David went in and sat before the Lord, and said, Here am I, O Lord God, and what is my house? And that you have brought me thus far. Yet this was a small thing in your eyes, O Lord God. You have spoken to serve you 7 times for a great while to come. This is an instruction from mankind, O Lord God. And what more can David say to you? For you know your servant, O Lord God, because of your promise, according to your own heart, you have brought about all this generation, all this greatness, to make your servant know it. Therefore you are great, O Lord God, for there is none like you, and there is no God besides you, according to all that we have heard with our ears. And who is like your people Israel, and one nation on earth, whom God went to redeem to be his people, making himself a name, and doing for them great and awesome things, by driving out before your people, whom you redeemed for yourself from Egypt, and they shared its God. And you established for yourself your people Israel to be your people forever. And you, O Lord, became their God. And now, O Lord God, confirm forever the word that you have spoken concerning your servant, and concerning his house, and do as you have spoken. And your name will be magnified forever, saying, The Lord of hosts is God over Israel, and the house of your servant David will be established before you. For I will build you a house. Therefore your servants have found courage to pray this prayer to you, and now, Lord God, you are God, and your words are true, and you have promised this good thing to your servant. Now therefore may it please you to bless the house of your servant, that it may continue forever before you. For you, Lord God, have said, and with your blessing shall the house of your servant be blessed forever. After this David defeated the Philistines and subdued them, and David took Mithgama, and and of the Philistines, and he defeated Moab, and he measured them with a line, and he threw the line down on the ground. 2 lines he measured to even to them one full line to be sped, and the Moabites became servants to David and brought tribute. David also defeated Hadadezer, the son of Rahab, king of Syria, as he went to restore his power at the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,700 horsemen and 20,000 foot soldiers. And David himself all the chariot horses, but left enough for 100 chariots. And the Syrians at Damascus came to help Hadadezer, king of Syria. David struck down 22,000 men of the Syrians, and David put garrisons in Aram of Damascus. And the Syrians became servants to David and brought tribute, and the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were carried by the servants of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem, and from Bethel and from Berothai, the cities of Hadadezer, King David took very much bronze. And Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated the whole army of Hadadezer. Toi sent his son Joram to King David to ask about his health and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and defeated him, for Hadadezer had often been at war with Toi, and Joram brought with him articles of silver, of gold, and of bronze. These are the King David dedicated to the Lord, together with the silver and gold that he dedicated from all the nations he subdued, from Edom, Moab, the Ammonites, the Philistines, Amalek, and the spoil of Hadadezer, the son of Rahab, king of Syria. And David made a name for himself when he was down from striking down 18,000 Edomites in the valley of Saul. And he put garrisons in Edom and throughout all Edom. And he put garrisons in all Edomites gave David servants. And the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. So David reigned over all Israel, and David administered justice and equity to all his people. Joab the son of Zeruiah was over the army, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilah was recorder, and Zadok the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech the son of Abiathar were priests, and Sariah was secretary, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were priests. And David said, "Is there still anyone left in the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?" Now there was a servant of the house of Saul, whose name was Ziba, and he called to David. They called him to David, and the king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" And he said, "I am your servant." And the king said, "Is there not still someone of the house of Saul, that I may know the kindness of God to?" Ziba said to the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan. He is crippled in his feet." And the king said to him, "Where is he?" And Ziba said to the king, "He was in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, at Lo-Debar." Then King David sent and brought him from the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, at Lo-Debar. And Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, son of Saul, came to David and fell on his face and paid homage. And David said, "Mephibosheth." He answered, "Behold, I am your servant." And David said to him, "Do not fear, for I will show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan, and I will restore to you all the land that Saul your father, and you shall eat my table always." And he paid homage and said, "What is your servant, that you shall show regard for a dead dog such as I?" Then the king called Ziba, Saul's servant, and said to him, "All that you belong to Saul and to all his house I have given to your master's grandson. And you and your sons and your servants shall till the land for him, and shall bring in the produce that your master's grandson may have bread to eat. And Mephibosheth, your master's grandson, shall always eat at my table." Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. And Ziba said to the king, "According to all the law, to thine Lord the king commands his servant, so will your servant do." So Mephibosheth ate at David's table, and just like one of the king's sons. And Mephibosheth had a younger son, whose name was Micah, and all he lived in Ziba's house became Mephibosheth's servants. So Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem, where he ate always at the king's table. Now he was lame in both his feet. After this the king of the Ammonites died, and Hanun his son reigned in his place. And David said, "I will deal loyally with Hanun the son of Nahash, as his father dealt loyally with me." So David sent by his servants to console him concerning his father. And David's servants came into the land of the Ammonites, but the princes of the Ammonites came to Hanun their lord. Do you think, because David said, "Come on for this to you," he is honoring your father? Has not David sent his servants to you to assess the city and spy it out and to overthrow it? So Hanun took David's servants and shaved off half their beard of each and cut off their garments in the middle, and at their hips, and sent them away. So when it was told David, he sent to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, "Remain at Jericho until your beards have grown, and then return." And the Ammonites saw that they had become a stench to David. The Ammonites sent and hired the Syrians at Beth-Rahal, and the Syrians had over 20,000 foot soldiers, and the king of Maacah with 1,000 men, and the men of Tob 12,000 men. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the hosts of the mighty men. And the Ammonites came out and drew up in battle array at the entrance of the gate. And the Syrians at Zobah and of Rahab and the men of Tob and Maacah were by themselves in the open country. When Joab saw that the battle was settled against him, and both of them front and the rear, he chose some of the best men of Israel and arrayed them against the Syrians. The rest of his men he put in charge of Israel and arrayed them against the Syrians. The rest of his men he put in charge of Abishai's battle, and he arrayed them against the Ammonites. And he said to him, the Syrians are too strong for me, and you shall help me, but if the Ammonites are too strong for me, I'll come and help you. Ye have good courage, and nicely courageous for my people. And for the seas of our God, and made the Lord you what seems good to you. So Joab and the Hebrew with him drew out and used about against the Syrians, and they fled before him. And then when they saw that the Syrians fled, they likewise fled before Abishai and entered the city. And Joab returned from fighting against the Ammonites and came to Jerusalem. And then the Syrians saw that they had been defeated by Israel. They gathered themselves together and had Hadad and brought out the Syrians who would be on the Euphrates, and they came to Helam and showed back the command of the army of Hadad at their head. And when it was told David, he gathered the warriors together and crossed with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel, and David killed all the Syrians, the men of 700 chariots and 40,000 horsemen, and wounded Shobach the commander of their army, so he died there. And all the kings who were servants of Hadad saw that they had been defeated by Israel. They made peace with Israel and became subject to them. So the Syrians were afraid to save the Ammonites anymore. In the spring of the year, the time when the kings go out to battle, David sent Joab, and then in the 7th with him, and all Israel, and they ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. But David remained at Jerusalem. It happened late one afternoon, and David arose from his couch and was walking on the roof of the king's house. They saw from the roof a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful. And David sat and inquired about the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? So David sent messengers into her, and she came to her, and he lay with her. And she returned to her house, and the woman conceived. And she said and told David, I am pregnant. And David sent one to Joab, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. Then Uriah came to him. David asked how Joab was doing, and how the people were doing, and how the war was going. And David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. And Uriah went out of his house, and they followed him a present from the king. And Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with only the servant of his lord, and did not go down to his house. And they told David, Uriah did not go down to his house. They said to Uriah, have you not come from a journey? Why did you not go down to your house? Uriah said to David, the ark of Israel and you dwell in booths, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord came in the open field. Shall I then go to my house to eat and drink and to lie with my wife? As you live, as your soul lives, I'll not do the same. And David said to Uriah, remain here today, and tomorrow I'll send you back. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next. And David invited him, and he ate in presence and drank, so that he made him drunk. In the evening he went up to lie on his couch with the servants of the Lord, but he did not go down to his house. In the morning David wrote a letter to Joab, sent by the hand of Uriah. In the letter he wrote, send Uriah in the forefront of the hardest fighting, and then draw back from it, that he may be struck down and die. And as Joab was besieging the city, he assigned Uriah to the place where he knew they were valiant men. And the men of the city came out and fought with Joab, and some of the servants of David among the people fell. Uriah the Hittite had died, and Joab sent and told David all the news about the fighting. And he instructed the messenger, and you had finished telling all the news about the fighting to the king. And if the king's anger rises, and he says to you, why did you go so near to the city to fight? Did you not know that they would shoot from the wall? Who killed Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal? Did not a woman cast up a millstone on him from the wall, so he died damaged? Why did you go so near the wall? Then you shall say, the servant Uriah the Hittite is dead. So the messenger went and came and told David, and all that Joab had sent him to tell. The messenger said to David, the men gained an advantage over us and came out against us in the field. But we drove them back to the entrance of the gate, and the archers shot at seven from the wall. Some of the king's servants are dead, and the servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. David said to the messenger, thus you shall say to Joab, do not let this man displease you, for the sword devours more now one and now another. Strengthen your attack against the city, and overthrow it, and then encourage it. And the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead. She lamented over her husband, and the morning was over. David's son brought her to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. And the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. Proverbs 25. These are sacrifices of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal things, with the glory of kings is stretching down. As the heavens are high and the earth the depths, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the just from silver, and the smoothest material for a vessel. Take away the wicked from the presence of the king. His throne will be established in righteousness, but do not put yourself forward in the king's presence. Just listen in the place of the great. It is better to be told, come here, than to be put low in the presence of a noble. What eyes have seen you hastily bring it to court, and what will you do in the your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and it is your review another seeker. You'll see he is you, bring shame upon you, and your ill review of no end. Of life at least records like apples of gold in the setting of silver. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wife of privilege to listen to you, and like a cold snow in the time of harvest, and a faithful messenger to the sin, he first in the soul of his masters. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man boasts of a gift he does not give. The patience of the Lord may be persuaded, and the soft tongue will break a bone. If you found honey, eat only enough for you, unless you have your fill of the animal vomit. Like you are filthy seldom in your neighbor's house, unless you have a fill of you obtain. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a war club or a sword or a sharp arrow. Just in the treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad taste of a foot that slips. Whoever sings songs to heavy eyes, the one who takes off heavy garments. The one who takes off a garment on a cold day, and like vinegar on soda. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. With you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and the backbiting tongue angry looks. It is better to live in the corner of the house than in the house shared with the castle wife. When they call words with thirsty soul, so is good. Used to a far from far heard you. Like a mighty spring or a polluted fountain, is the righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good, nor is it glorious to seek one's glory. A mouth of self-control is like a city broken into, a mouth without walls. Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from us. He sits in the heavens laughs, and the Lord holds them in derision. He will speak to them in his wrath and terrify them in his fury, saying, as for me, I set my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will tell the degree. The Lord said to me, you are my son, today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your heritage, and the ends of the earth your possession. Shall break them with a rod of iron, and dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore, O kings, be wise, be warned, and rules of the earth. Say out the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling against the sun, lest he will and you perish in the way. For his wrath is quickly kindled, lest all who take refuge in him. Now thus now nation unto the Lord's wrath, raise your hands, Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and give us our debts as we receive given our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.